All right, happy Monday. I do like to keep these timely, trying to give an extra minute. We got a limited crowd right now, but the call is being recorded so that people can watch it later and get the information. And hopefully we have more join as well. But wanted to thank you guys for taking the time to hop on the call today. I know that the customer ID program, Boost has had calls on it. We want to make sure you guys are 100% with that and you are fully aware of it because it's going to be awesome for your doors. But even more exciting is the Xfinity Contest winners and kind of what we have cooking up. So with that, I will turn it over to Albert Chesser from Xfinity. Albert, take it away.
Oh, thank you, Adam. Hey guys, I'm Albert. I'm the program manager with Xfinity that helps assist DCI with all things Xfinity prepaid. And today I'm actually real proud to kind of give an update about this prepaid sales incentive we've been running for the calendar month of March. For those that might not have been aware, but just to rehash what this is, it's a program where based on a sales goal assigned to each store, for the time period of 3/1 to 3/31, each store that achieves that sales goal will receive 3 free prepaid kits at no cost to them. So these are extra kits being funneled into the inventory systems for you guys that allow you guys to sell and earn profit off of. It's a great way to kind of act as a tax time stimulus for the dealers. And with this incentive, it is honestly a big, big, big win for us in this reason. Two main goals for this incentive are really to help overdrive sales during this period, but also ensure that inventory on hand levels are replenished to support that overdriving of sales post the incentive period. And right now, guys, the Chicago region as a whole is absolutely crushing this incentive. As of 3/23 sales data, DCI has 53 confirmed winners in this incentive, and that's 159 additional kits pumped into the market with $6,360 of pure profit that go into the dealers' portfolios. Um, Also, with that, just as a huge fact to call out, in the Chicago region, like I said, Chicago right now is absolutely crushing it as far as Chicago has the most claimed winners in this incentive throughout the entire division, which is Chicago, Heartland region for Michigan, Big South, which encompasses like Tennessee, Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Florida. Chicago has 88 confirmed winners. Of those 88, 39 of those are DCI doors. So, round of applause to you guys for just absolutely being out here and crushing these sales targets. But for those that have crushed, also want to point out that there's 111 stores right now that are within striking distance. We have 54 stores that are 3 sales away, 26 stores that are 2 sales away, and 31 that are 1 sale away from winning. And for those 111 stores, that's an additional $13,320 in free money that's waiting to be claimed for you guys out there. So right now through Friday, 3/31, it's really important days for all the stores to continue to drive sales to help achieve their sales targets. Your local Xfinity, DCI, and Boost reps will be out supporting you this week. But remember, using the phrase that pays is a very, very simple and easy way to help get our sales conversation started. And for anyone who was not in attendance on our last call where I was present, just wanted to kind of review those phrase that pays conversations. Um, for the scenario example, a customer comes into the store because they used all their mobile data before the end of their billing period. A recommended phrase that pays would be, with Xfinity prepaid internet, you can get unlimited in-home Wi-Fi to save on your mobile data. Let me check your address to see if you qualify for these services. Very simple transition statement to help get the customer engaged in what we're offering, but also the opportunity to help move into the address check, which is the most important part of the sales transaction to help get that customer qualified. The next one, which is one that I like to use honestly myself because it really highlights the value of the product. But when your customer comes in to pay for their monthly prepaid service for their wireless phone, they're already in that payment mode, asking that customer what they spend on their home service to help figure out how good of a deal Xfinity prepaid will be. And that recommended phrase would be, spending more than $60 a month for your home internet service. With Xfinity prepaid internet, you could get unlimited in-home Wi-Fi for $40 for 30 days as a Boost Mobile customer. Let me check your address to see if you qualify. So again, most important thing is it helps get that customer to the address check. But the key thing around that $60 a month price point is that most internet customers are probably going to be spending anywhere between $60 and maybe $110 a month for their internet service if it's in or outside of any promotion that they had. But with Xfinity Prepaid, $45 is the base price. But for Boost customers, we all know they get that $5 discount by having an active Boost mobile phone alongside Xfinity Prepaid. So being able to drop that bill to $40 every 30 days for that customer is an incredible savings. So if anyone is maybe spending $60 or more, that all is additional money that basically could be spent inside the store for other accessories, additional phones to add to their Boost account to help everyone else in the household have a wireless device and still take care of that home Wi-Fi needs for each of your customers. All right. So with that, again, congratulations to all the stores that are winners in this incentive. Like I said, there's a handful of stores that are very, very, very close. We want to do all we can to help support and get you guys those kits, because for many of those stores, hitting this incentive and getting 3 free kits is almost like doubling up on your regular inventory order. So it's free kits, it's free money out there for all to earn, and we're here to help support you guys. And I want to again say thank you for your participation. Thank you to the DCI crew for helping drive this incentive. And if there's anything else you guys need from us, I'm always here to help. But Adam, I'll pass it back to you.
Awesome stuff. Yes, thank you so much. Guys, Xfinity is such a great product, and we have such great things going with them. And I know some stores even have trials, which maybe you guys will hear about in the future. But man, it's just a great partner. So Albert, thank you so much, and congratulations to those of you guys who earned your free kits, because free money right there for you. And then to see everyone so close, there definitely going to be calls to be made to those dealers on our side as well to help close the gap and get even more sales for sure. All right, let me share my screen here. All right, let me know if you guys can see it.
We've got you.
Okay, so let's jump into the customer ID portion. If you guys haven't had a chance to hop on the Boost calls last week, this is a place where you can get that information, right? So I screenshot a lot of stuff they had on there because it's going to be huge for you guys. I mean, this is really awesome. It's kind of the way of the future as we, we're looking at Boost Infinite and we look at what are our competitors doing. Our competitors are out there are already doing these kind of ID programs for customers. So coming soon, I think it was supposed to launch here this week. I think it is getting pushed back from what I heard this morning, but it's still coming soon. New customers are going to have that option to provide a government-issued ID to be verified and to qualify for preferred promotional pricing on select devices. So the customers are going to need their ID that has their name, address, date of birth, an established email, and this is key, right? Established email for a minimum of 31 days. I want to pause and touch on this point as a point of influence or emphasis rather for you guys, because it's not something where you can just create an email for them at your store. You can't use your store's email. It has to be a valid email that's been there for 31 days, because the system is going to check this, and if it's a newly created email, they're not going to be valid. Now, honestly, this shouldn't be an issue, because everyone who has a phone has an email address, because that's how you use the App Store, right? So if it's iPhone, if it's Android, you had to have your established email for your customers. So they have to have an email for minimum 31 days. It cannot be a newly created email you're doing at point of sale. They'll accept a driver's license, passport, U.S. state or government ID, military ID, an alien registration receipt card with photo, an employment authorization document with photo, and TIN, tax ID. So why are we doing this? Why is this change coming? Well, number one, it's not required. As you'll see in a couple slides up here, it's not required. But it's to get a better quality customer. You guys know how important churn is. And, you know, we look at month 2, month 3, month 4, you know, 5, 6, you know, all these months are very important. And prepaid customers are getting such a great deal at such a low price. The customers need to have longevity for the business to be healthy. So with the uptick in fraud, validating customers' information is going to help alleviate any potential fraud on customers' accounts. Again, because we need them to stay for, you know, over 6 months, hopefully over a year, hopefully over 2 years, right? It's going to assist in limiting risky customer behaviors and customers obtaining frequent subsidized devices, and reducing the fraud is going to allow Boost to have more competitive promotions in the future. If we can properly identify our customers and obtain their accurate contact info, we can better serve them. And if we have that valid email address, we can send them communications about offers and promos to help to drive that traffic back to you guys at your door level. So a couple quick pitches when it comes to selling. Directly after you guys find out a customer wants to start a new service, so after you kind of done your qualifying questions, and they say, oh, they want a new line. I'd be happy to help you getting started with your new service with Boost. If you have your ID, let's check and see if I can get you preferred pricing with us, right? And I like that. I like that phrasing. Do you have your ID? I can maybe we'll get you preferred price and give you an additional discount, you know, if they have an ID. Another pitch. Before we get started, we have a lot of great offers. If you're looking to start service with us, let me get some information from you so we can make sure we get you the best possible deal. Do you have your ID with you? You know, so that's a more passive way of saying, hey, let me see if I can get you the best deal. You got your ID? And so for our existing customers, the ID thing is kind of new, right? But in every postpaid world, you got to have your ID. I think people are used to this. It should be a seamless, easy transition. Another one, oh, you're looking to switch, got your ID on you? You know, they'll say, yeah, and show you your ID. You're going to get very few customers that are going to object to this unless maybe they don't have an ID or they don't have it with them. And then during the recommendation process of a phone, based on everything you told me, I believe this can be the best device for you. Now we have some great promotional prices already, but if you have ID on you, let's see if you qualify for preferred pricing, right? And the preferred pricing is kind of the buzzwords they're using for the customer ID program devices. Another pitch, we have some great deals that we can get you today to get the best possible pricing when it's to do an ID check, right? That one I probably like the least. But anyway, great easy pitches there. On the sales portal, they have the customer ID training resources out there. There's a whole training guide, and there is a one-pager. There's a CIP overview, the verification process, and the guided sales flow, and FAQs. Again, they are on the sales portal under quick links, and then click on GSF resources. That's where you see the customer ID check one-pager, where it'll tell you what it applies for: port-ins, new, single, and multi-lines, and add-lines. It tells you what's required, which we just covered: the name, address, date of birth, and then ID. And it is hyperlinked where you can click and find the acceptable forms of ID. Again, the big key that we have to remember is that email address has to be over 31 days old. And then you can check and see if they've opted in for preferred pricing. Or if not, then they still will get our standard new customer pricing, right? The device hot sheet, as we'll show you in more details in a second, will also show you that standard pricing and then our preferred promo pricing. The one so with the ID would be preferred pricing, without ID would be our standard pricing. So I kind of covered the whys on this, and we covered that. So there is U-Learning. If you guys have not completed this, please do it today. It's due by April 4th. So we got April ends at the end of this week, but it's due by April 4th. You need to log into Boost U and take your training. Where do you find that? If you go into the sales portal, under training, you'll see Boost U. You click on that and you can log in. If you do not have your own login and password, reach out to your Boost account executive and they can create one for you. All right, it's a 10-minute training, easy peasy. So what are you guys going to see? How is this actually going to be executed in the field? There's a sample price tag out here and a sample device hot sheet out here. So you'll see the example we have up here is a Moto G Play, $129.99 SRP, free with port in. You'll see a new line with ID verification, $5. So new customer pricing on a Moto G Play, $5 with ID. Without, with ID verification, $59.99 without it. So your new customer pricing is the same as your upgrade pricing, but if you have ID, $5. If it's new or an upgrade without the ID verification, $59.99, right? So big savings. Like if I can get a customer a phone out the door for $5 instead of $60 just by giving me your ID, that's huge. And you're going to see there's going to be a lot of phones that are going to be included in these offers. So you guys definitely going to want to take advantage of it. How exactly this process is going to work is when you go into Elevate, you do your add lines. It'll say to qualify for better pricing, the customer needs to provide their personal information. Otherwise, standard pricing applies. So if they don't have an ID, obviously you're going to skip it. If they do, you're going to verify your customer. And this is after you've selected their phones, right? So you selected their items, you've done all that. Then they're going to take you to, do they have their ID or not? You verify it. And if they have the verification screen will pop up, or you simply enter their email, first name, last name, date of birth, all that information is kind of on their ID. So you enter the address you see on the ID, even if it's not where they currently reside, you want to use what's on the driver's license. Kind of similar to ACP, right? Because that's the address the government has. You want to use what's on their ID. Now you're going to get three options once you do that. Either the customer is successfully verified, which means everything's fine. They're partially verified, which means something didn't add up. So one piece of information was wrong. So you can go back and check your information to make sure that you have everything typed in correctly, or that the customer couldn't be verified and therefore only standard pricing can be offered. So if they're partially verified, you can go back and see if there's maybe an error or a typo you put in there that you can fix. And if it's totally, you got two X's, customer ID X, ID verification X, then that's going to be a standard pricing customer. So kind of a great solution, they're verified, and okay solution, partially verified, it means we can probably go back and fix it, or they're just denied. So that's what you're going to see when it comes to those steps. So we want to make sure we're talking about this program early and often. Again, I did hear it is getting delayed. It was supposed to launch this week. So we'll wait till we have the new date of launch that'll come out. Again, customers are not required to provide the ID and establish services with Boost. It's just to receive that preferred pricing. So if you have an ID, you're going to get a great deal, which if I'm a customer and I'm like, if I show you my driver's license, I save $50, obviously I'm going to do that. The ID verification is not required for a device upgrade because upgrade pricing is not affected as of this program now. It's more for new customers. Information, again, entered exactly as it is on the ID. If the first attempt to verify the customer is not successful, you do have 2 extra tries. But kind of like when they get their password, it's 3 tries and that's it. Again, if the customer doesn't have an email, they're kind of out of luck, right? But they should have one because if they ever had a phone, they have an email. So it's just important they have that valid email address. One cannot be created for the same day. Emails must be established for a minimum of 31 days. That's the biggest thing that I see is going to be an issue with this. So I feel like a lot of times we're creating emails for our customers in store. So that's why it's like the biggest kind of call out to what's going to be needed to make this program successful is we have to have that established email address. And then the customer may have an iOS or Android email with their current device, which is kind of what I said earlier. If they have an app store, it doesn't matter if it's an iPhone or an Android app store, you have an email. Only the account holder needs to verify the ID. If it's a multi-line account, it's only that account holder that needs to verify it. Now, again, I talked about that date is April 4th. If you guys have not launched your training, please do that immediately. And in addition, a little bit of a separate topic, but very important since we're on a training call, right? There's a business certification. Dealers are going to have 30 days to submit info to B2B Soft. A failure to do so will result in guided sales flow being disabled. So your dealer principals should receive an email from elevatecompliance@b2bsoft.com with a secure link to upload the information they're asking into the portal. So this is something we need to start working on now. I'll probably put it on every call for the next 4 weeks, at least that piece, so that we need to validate with B2B Soft for guided sales flow. You have to reach out to them, and you can do that via the email at elevatecompliance@b2bsoft.com, or you can call them at 212-330-3018. Again, that's 212-330-3018 for anyone who might just be listening and not on the call. So you want to reach out to them and make sure you have your updated information for B2B Soft, which is going to be required to do these CIP activations. All right, one final piece. I kind of want to show you guys how many devices are going to be in here So this isn't finalized, so you're going to go with the hot sheet, but kind of a look at the savings that are going to be out there with ID versus without ID. Awesome pricing, like on any of your Nokias, your TCL 30XE, TCL 30Z, Moto G Pure, G Play, Samsung A03, G Power, Samsung A14, Celero 5G, Celero 2 5G, Moto G 5G, Moto G Stylus 5G, Samsung A23, renewed Samsung Galaxy A10s. These devices are all going to have substantial discounts when it comes to customers with IDs. So you're talking savings from, $50 savings on new, bringing ports from $60 down to $0 on a majority handsets. Moto G Power, for example, $70 on a regular port, but that's going to be looking at $0 on a port with an ID. So the savings are legit. Don't take the date in here, the 28th of March. That's again pushed back. So this is not finalized. As kind of an idea of what we were looking at. This may hold true when it launches, but we're going to need to check the device pricing hot sheet for final pricing. And again, you will see it on the device pricing hot sheet. There will be columns that say with ID and without ID. But the reason I put this up here for you is to show there's a ton of devices that have substantial discounts that you guys can take advantage of. So awesome stuff for you as a dealer. Kind of gets us in the habit of asking for that ID. So then when Boost Infinite comes, which is like, or Boost Postpaid, if your store is chosen for that, or you open a location that is postpaid, you're kind of building those habits already, because this is standard for our any postpaid door. So really great stuff. Want to make sure you guys are aware of it and are taking advantage of these opportunities as they arrive. So that's it for today. I'm a little early, but I will open it up. Are there any questions? We got about 7 minutes left.
Looks like we got a question in chat. Why does
Yep.
Elevate need all this info? It's only our POS system. They ask more stuff than anyone else does.
Well, so you're talking about for Elevate to be business certified? I think maybe that's the question, because that's your Elevate B2B soft. It's just a requirement of this program. I don't know the exact behind the scenes of the why, but I just know it is a requirement. So Elevate is going to require information for you guys to make sure it's valid, make sure these sales are legit. Really, this whole thing is about reducing fraud and extending customer longevity. And this is the kind of program that does that. You make sure you have legit customers, people aren't gaming you. But yeah, to be a part of this, that is a requirement.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic day, and I'll catch up with you soon. Thank you.